This week on Cars and Things Restos, we're going to get it wired up. Hopefully all our parts turn up and we can kick it in the guts. Good morning guys, we're here at the Holden Bottom Wall. Welcome back to Cars and Things Restos. Righto, where are we at? Where we left off is we had the blower and everything sitting on it, and we got some wiring done. I had the throttle shaft out of it, gave it a paint job. I'll show you what I'm doing there because it's pretty critical. I put the shafts in, I put the butterflies in, and they weren't shutting. And what I found is they have to go in a certain way. I didn't know that, but what I've done is I'm doing one at a time. I'm making sure that it fits. I had that one upside down and it wouldn't shut. So now I'll go on to the middle one and we'll slide that in there without scratching anything and see that it's not shutting. Oh yeah, it will. Yep, that one's good. I'll put a bolt in that so it doesn't move. We'll get back to that. Okay, sorry for digressing there, guys. So as you've seen, I got some hoses for it yesterday. Check that out. Unbelievable. VE Commodore top radiator hose. Actually fitted. There was a Ford one similar too, but I ain't putting that on it. And we've got a bottom hose on it that runs down there. That was off a Hyundai. First one we grabbed off the shelf and it fitted. So thanks to the boys at Repco for sorting me out there. Appreciate that. What else have I done? Oh, I've got the diff in it. Diff slipped into it. Haven't got me axles yet. I've just got the old cut down axles in it, but I wanted to see it fit. Unfortunately, we're going to do something there with the springs because that is tapped out. That's as low as it'll go with the adjusters on it. And they ain't low enough. So I might have to pull the adjusters out of it. And I might just pull the actual locking rings out. That'll get me another 20 mil. Might be enough. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Rightio. So this episode, I'm going to get stuck into the wiring. Which is over in the box here. Been doing a bit of research with Marky Albino, my buddy, and Mark's going to come out on Saturday, and hopefully I'll have everything wired up, all the hard side of it done, all the hardware, the wiring and everything, and Mark's going to jump in there and into the computer and see if we can get it fired up. Nico's gone away on holidays, he told me that, so Marky said he'd come out and give me a hand. We'll see how we go. Righto, we'll keep knocking it out. Now we have to do a bit of organising on the old wiring harness here. Rightio, here's our wiring diagram here. Tells us what we've got to do. We've got to hook up air temperature sensor, which I put in the other day. I haven't put the coolant temperature sensor in, but I have to. I've put the throttle position switch in. We're not running an external map sensor. We're going to run the one in the ECU. And we're going to run, we're running the wideband too. So we're not using those wires. We'll be using this main connector harness, CAN harness down there. Okay, so this is my diagram. That's what I'm going to follow. But first of all, what I need to do is I need to add 2 more relays. So I want 1 relay for the fuel pump, 1 relay for the fans. All right, so I'll get stuck into that. I'll wire all that up first, and then we'll get stuck into this harness. It looks daunting, but it's not that bad. It'll be fine. Just follow the wiring diagram, and I'll make it happen. All right. let's get into it. Okay guys, as you've seen there, I hooked up my 2 relays. So what I've done is I hooked up 2 more power on the fuses there. Put them over there. I found a 30 amp fuse that I'm going to run for my fans and a 20 amp for the water pump. Now what I did say earlier was that I was going to put 2 relays in, one for the fuel pump, one for the fans. Sorry, I don't need to do fuel pump. It's already got a fuel pump one. So injectors and coils, fuel pump, water pump and fans. Okay, so as you saw, I pulled the wires back through here, through the DPO. So I've got DPO 1 here. I've written it down here on for fan, DPO 3 for water pump. Okay, so what will happen is I'll have to go into the Elite 950 in my computer and program it to these 2 wires. One's for the fan, one's for the water pump. I don't know much about it. I've got to get into it. Hopefully I can set the fan to come on at a temperature. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I'll have to look into this, see how we go. What I also done is I've written over here, we're not running an external map sensor. So for the map sensor wires, I'm going to run oil pressure. So I'm going to hook that up to my oil pressure switch. We don't need to worry about the narrow band sensor because we've got the white band 2 that'll hook up into, there it is there. We've got that, which will hook up to the CAN bus, which will be that connector just there. Alrighty. That's about it for them. Oh, you've seen I hooked up, I've got 2 power wires and I've labelled them water pump. They're going to run across the underneath the dash to the driver's side, and then I've got to split them off down to the one to the water pump at the front, and which I've got to run back under the shit, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to split that. I'm going to run that out with the harness and go with the harness for the water pump. And the other one, I'm going to run all the way across under the dash to go out to the fuel pump. All right, I'm going to keep knocking this out because I'll be here all day otherwise. Okay. Rightio. Okay, so it's all coming along pretty good here. Pretty happy with it. I was just buttoning it all up, and then I remembered that because I've been watching the Haltech channel, and I was watching Dave's vlog, which gives you a lot of good information about wiring Haltech up. So if you're doing it, go and watch Dave's vlog because it's pretty good. But he talked about wiring up the wideband 2 system, and going and removing, where are we? Here we are here. Removing this ground signal wire from that connector there, or that spliced wire, and hooking it straight into the battery ground. So I found it, traced it back here, come down to here. It was just there somewhere, I can't remember. There it is there, where I've got that tape. So I cut it out of there, and then I spliced it straight into the negative wire, or the battery ground, or battery. No, what did he call it? The power ground wire or something. Don't know why they don't just call it the earth wire, because that's what it is. It's a friggin' earth. But they don't like to call them like them names, apparently. So that's all done. That's a little hack he does. So I've done that as well. Now I can start putting it, piecing it all back together, and we can slide it in the car and see if we can start fitting her up. Rightio, guys. All right. We've got the harness back out of the car. I've gone through, I put it in the car, drilled the hole. I'll show you where I went with the hole. I might need a light. We'll just see. Okay, so there's the hole there for the Haltech grommet to go in, and I drilled it right where the aircon drain was. So I utilised that hole. It goes in there, so that's nice and neat, tucked away there. So what I did is I ran all the wires to the sensors and then cut them to length. Now I'm going to go through and hook up all my, or terminate it. And the only thing I've got to do still is the ignition leads. Look through the camera, idiot. And then, so what I've got to do with them, I've got to make a little sub harness for the coils. So now I'm going to go through and terminate all the terminals, and then I can finish the harness up. All right, we'll get it smacked out. Well, guys, here we are. We got it sorted. Took me a bit of time. The old time lapse doesn't show you the real time, but I got it all busted out. So it took me I started it Wednesday afternoon, just after lunch, about 2 o'clock. Went to about 6, and then I was in here yesterday. I had to do a little bit first thing in the morning, so about 9:30 I started, and I was here till 6 o'clock last night, just fucking around with this harness, making sure it's right, test fitting it, getting the length right. I did have a couple wrong, I had to rechange it. Got a bit of heat stuff on it where it goes down past the extractors. On the that one there is our trigger wire. This one runs to our alternator and temp sensor. But I've got it all busted out. I have fitted in, but what I want to do is go through the sensor wires and just back probe them all the way back to here, make sure we got contact. I've done the trigger wire, it's fine, but I just want to make sure before I put it all in, and then it can go in the car and see what happens. All right, we'll keep knocking it out. Okay, here we are. Right hand axle is in. Just got to get the other side done. I'm not happy with how low it is, so I'm going to end up dropping out these two, getting another 20 mil lower. But supposed to be adjustable, and yeah, can't adjust it because I want it lower than what they make it adjustable. Anyway, is what it is. So look, I haven't filmed much today. I've spent a fair bit of time, all day again on it, hooking up fuel system. All the fuel systems hooked up, ready to go. All the wiring's done. I've got all the alternator all wired up under here. Starter motor is all wired up. I've got all the sensors all hooked up. The only thing I haven't hooked up other coils. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Got all my stereos all wired in. Haltech dash is nearly complete. It's all wired in. I just got to wire in the indicators. Here's the controls here. So I got to wire in the handbrake, handbrake, parking lights, turn signals, and high beam. That's all I have to hook up to that. But other than that, it can go in. I've got my Mako Motorsport. I haven't opened that. Let's open that up, hey? I've got something here to cut it open. I haven't even looked at it. They've asked me how it went, and I said, I haven't even fitted it yet, mate, because I got it like friggin' 3 months ago. Alrighty, there you go, just unboxed it. So that's our dash insert and our Haltech doesn't fit. What the hell? Well, that's fucking good, isn't it? Haltech doesn't even fit. Ah, of course it does. Had me worried for a second. There we go. Look at that. Gonna get that in there tomorrow, guys. All happening. Righto. Well, guys, got to apologise. Haven't been doing much filming. Been just going like a cut cat, mate, I tell you. So, brothers, I need a light. So, brothers covered all the boot that Shawnee made for us. So, need to vacuum it out. So, it's all in there. Battery just slatted in there. Now we just got to put the fuel tank in, but that's what it's going to look like. We'll see how it goes. So tank's got to go in now, and Mark Alvino is on the way. He's coming to configure the computer for me, the ECU, and we might put some fuel in it. We'll pump a bit of fuel through. I haven't hooked up that feed line. I just want to just flush it first. Don't want fucking shit if there's anything in the line going straight into the injectors. So we'll flush that and then straight into hooking it up and fire it up. Anyway, we'll see you in a bit. Alrighty. There we go. There's Shawnee's creation of the boot. So he's got it all in there pretty nice and neatly. I do want to do a bit more over the battery. We want to make like an infill panel that'll, I can get into the light. So it'll come across from here, flush straight across to about there across the battery, and it'll hide the bit of the battery. We'll only see the top of it. So it just pushes down in there and fills it in a bit more. Yeah, there's not a lot of space in there, but you know what? Who cares? We just want it to look tough. And it looks fucking grouse. Well, there we are. It's nearly 10:30 at night. I've been going all day on the sucker. Marky come out. He spent a good 4 or 5 hours trying to work out how to get the Haltech tune set. We couldn't get a LS tune to go into it, so we didn't get it fired up, unfortunately. I'm going to have to ring Haltech on Monday and ask them what the go is. But she's all together. I'll just give it a big tub. I just got to put my shifter handle on it. But I don't know if the key's in it, is it? If the battery's hooked up. No, I haven't got the battery hooked up. There we go. She's ready for the show tomorrow. Righto, we'll see you in the morning. All right, guys. I couldn't help myself. I had to hook up the battery. So let's show you the dash. Now, Haltech dash, come on. And stereo, come on. There's a Haltech dash.
It's not the dash I want in it though. I want to change that. I want that one with a speedo. There's the Stezza playing music. I better turn that off. I don't know what that music is, but that was already in it. So there we are. Heard the pump come on. Now I just got to put my shifter on. All right, good stuff.